a fair about years ago. Remember when it was elite?
Oh, wait, someone flashed.
For a short period of time.
I think someone just flashed level 1. Am I trolling? No,
crazy.
I'm crazy. I am just seeing things. But yeah, carry on.
Aragon, if you look on the left and the right of the screen, there's every champion, and you can see there's summoner spells.
What did I see? I must have seen something. I have no idea.
You heard the sound of the turret loading in.
Yeah, maybe. I
Did
don't
you
know
make
what that was.
a
I'm
fairly
dreaming.
boomy sound, to be fair, a bit like Flash. But yeah, you know, I think actually, so it's not Lee Sin, it's Maokai. It's Maokai,
Sure.
Jace. Ooh.
It's
I don't know
a
who's
nasty
stronger. I don't know. That's two very strong jungle mid synergies. I don't want to see Nita or Scuffed in lane at all. I want to see them moving around the map.
Yeah. So
Give me that action.
I think what we're probably going to see, if this goes the way Ruddy wants it to, is what we're likely to see is very disciplined and slow gameplay revolving around objectives. Because how Maokai functions is he essentially just wants people to come into him. Our objective is on the objective on time and has like flanks covered with saplings, everywhere covered with saplings, and to kite back with saplings. Usually you can tell which team's going to win if they have a Maokai, if the sapling coverage is there. If the Maokai is coming late, usually that team's loses, because his new identity is like a poke champion that kind of guards with vision, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm expecting to see if they play properly. Ruddy, they seem to be a really disciplined team, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they just do that. There's no action early game because they really don't have that much playmaking. There's like no setup outside of a counter strike or a counter gank in the bot lane. So yeah, slow game incoming.
Expecting that to be the case, but you never know. It is Ruddy. They are a team who sometimes do like to just go a little bit ham at times.
Ooh,
So
that was nice.
We'll see. Ooh, yeah. However, you know, Denvoxney, it's Denvoxney, and he's also on a scaling champion. So the scaling AD carry player on a scaling champion is probably 300-400 CS before Denvoxney walks out of bot lane at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, recently it does seem like Ruddy are leaning towards more scaling. You know, it does seem like that, but maybe that's just the way these couple of drafts have gone. I do feel like they probably can play like different variations of compositions. It just feels that way because most of the time they've got Nash on like a Rakan who doesn't do anything for a long time. But then when he is unlocked, he'll just find amazing hooks. That was a nice reaction. I couldn't do that. AD carries are something else.
That was honestly the most insanely fast reaction.
Because it's out of bush, right? You can't see you only see it when it's like leaving the bush. Man, it could never be an AD carry.
Denvoxney's got the hand still.
It does.
No, I think I'm actually too old to play AD carry. I'm so bad with attack space, like auto attack based champions nowadays.
I completely feel for that, man. I'm a bit concerned. I'm really concerned for Sibel. Sibel, because usually what you do in this meta is like you pick perm pushing bot side and you dive bot and become a complete nuisance. Side note, she's usually stronger on blue side as well because you can get to bot earlier. You know, like red Wraith's Krogs, and then you just go bot lane. But because you're on blue side, and then also because you have no real playmaking, you have no push and dive potential. You can't dive a Braum. Your role becomes just to facilitate a bridge towards getting to mid game, right? You are a bridge to mid game, but then mid and late, but you have no real scaling to bridge to. So I just feel like this Elise has no playmaking potential, on top of having no insurance that she's bridging to. You understand? It just doesn't feel
good. No. It's actually interesting. Baloo roamed mid to make sure that Scuffed didn't lose too many minions under tower. Big thing to note, Scuffed is taken Ignite when Nita took Teleport. That is him saying, I want to find solo kills in lane.
Yeah.
Does he do that? Is that a thing that happens versus Jace?
I think it's a bit brutal too, because you can see the CS deficit because of that, right? I guess she is going to pick up a wave here, but that is adding up. Those base AD buffs coming in for Jace right now, like really stacking up. Nita does look competent on Jace. We have seen it before. He does die a couple times, but that is typical. Honestly, that's the Jace tax. He's so easy to gank. I wouldn't be surprised to see another death come in at level 6. There's really not much a Jace can do. There's a whole minigame of like keeping your flash as Jace versus Aurelia, because if you do not have flash by the time you're level 6 and Aurelia throws an ultimate at you, you will just die, right? You need to be able to flash that initial one. I don't think anything is going to happen here.
Maybe if that cocoon lands, but remember, it is Elise. I think actually with Spooder taking too much damage, that's not doable. But remember, Elise is very good at diving because of her ability to reset at the final moment with that E. But I think Spooder getting chunked basically dissuaded that gank.
Look at that CS deficit topside. Like, Spuda got a counter pick, and he's down 20 CS at 5 minutes.
Word.
It's absolutely brutal. I don't know what's happening topside, but it should not go this way. This technology coming out from Rifty with the grasp of the dying Jax might just be too much for him, or he's misplaying the matchup in general. I'd probably lean towards that way.
Look, I know you're a man of culture like me. I know you're a grasp enthusiast.
I am. I do
grasp
like it
is
a lot.
it's such a good rune, man. It comes with its own mini game. I love
a
it.
little dopamine hit every single time you alter the enemy. I take that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I get more health, and they also take a little bit of bonus damage as well. I love it. Oh, doesn't get it that time though.
Tries to engage
on Jax as well. It's a bit like GP as well, because you get the empowered W auto. There it is with the grasp and the sheen. It's actually really brutal.
Yeah. No, it's completely brutal. I mean, he's also sitting on Sheen, right, like you said, and it's just at this point, probably without grasp. The idea is that he can't extend lethal tempo trades into it.
Oh, scuffed.
Managed to land the Q from Nash.
Does try to get in. He's got the ultimate, actually hit 6 in the meanwhile. Scuffed gets jumped onto as he's trying to finish. Nitro bopped into the tower. First blood to No Name.
And I don't know how Nash managed to land that Q through all the minions and through all the champions onto Scuffed. He managed to land it. I really hope we see a replay of that, because that must have been absolutely threaded the line, threaded a needle. This is just the power of using Braum to counter engage, right? You have Aurelia dash in. I can see, unfortunately we didn't see the beginning of it, but Aurelia dashes in and he just gets stunned. And this is why I really like Ruddy's draft. It's extremely intelligent. It counters everything Nativz wants to do, because Nativz want to go in and that's all they can do. And they just have the best disengage in the game in Braum. Right, incredibly good stuff.
Really, really nice, and that's a good start there. It's stun already stack up. There's a CS lead in the top side, a CS lead in the bot side. Mid's equal, whatever. But sorry, no. Mid and top have CS leads. Bots equal. That's kind of whatever. Then Voxney is getting jumped onto. Remix isn't level 6 though, so this is very hard for them to actually do anything. If Remix was 6, he probably could have pulled the trigger there and jumped onto Den Voxney, but unfortunately, not going to be the case.
Yeah, and be followed up with, but exactly. Followed up by Remix with Baloo's ulti as well. But, like you said, not going to happen. I don't think Sibal was in range too, and this is the problem, right? It's just so hard to find picks, because now you've got the spell shield to block everything too. I don't know how you'd be proactive in this case as Nativz. I think it's incredibly hard draft gap, and now Den Voxney's wave clear is just coming in with this Noon Quiver, you know? And I think you've just got to pray for team fights. Some kind of miracle engage. Rifty just lane kingdoming over here, holding this freeze, managing. He's going to be able to hold this indefinitely. There's no way Spuda can contest. I hope Rifty notices. Decides he doesn't care anyway. But I think he could have held the freeze there, because Spuda was right? He was completely out of mana, and he has no TP. So Rifty decides against it, decides it's not worth it, and he's just going to push out the wave.
It's just going to relax for now. There's No Name.
Starting up Herald.
Do himself the Rift Herald. It's feeling quite comfortable. First Maokai I've seen in one of our games, at least.
Is it actually?
Finally doing something.
Like,
I'm pretty sure it's the first Maokai me and you have had all season.
Oh, wow.
There's probably been Maokais across the season. I've not been able to watch every game, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure this is our first Maokai. I think he's been permabanned. Oh, lovely.
Nothing.
To be fair, Scuff played that well, but then he loses his entire health bar. And in comes the Twisted Advance, actually. Is going to connect onto a couple of members. They are getting the CC up. Goes the Spider. Down comes Seabull. And he flashed, but he didn't need to because his Spiderlings blocked the Winter's Bite.
And the chain CC is just so brutal. You get tagged by one of anything, you know? You get tagged by a Braum Q Winter's Bite, a Maokai Slow or a Root. You are dead, right? You can't move. And this is the really big problem picking Aurelia here. I really dislike it. You just can't play. And it just feels like Scuffed has too much power to work with. He dashes in and it just looks fancy, but, you know, he can't move. It's just not great. With a nice little trade. I think he dodged out on the body slam there, which is crucial. Really, really good stuff. And he is maintaining and extending that lead. It was 20 CS before, now it's 30.
Oh, that is a big lead. That is a really, really monumental lead, actually, up in that top side. And Spuda, I don't know if they can even really put the attention into that lane to try and get it, because they tried, but Rifty has the lane exactly where he wants it. He's nice and safe. He's not really under any threat right now. Yes, there's level 6, and maybe there's a world where Spuda can cask him away from his tower, but I think Rifty actually has popped the Grandmaster's Might. There's Spuda's ultimate. Does have that flash. He's going to go in with a Q. Flash out from Spuda to make sure he's not under any threat of death.
And if you look mid lane, there's loads of action. I think the Nativz have a really hard time ahead of them. You can see Seabull desperately trying to make plays all over the map. If I was Seabull here, unless this is incredibly free, you can see Rifty's HP bot, but he can just TP back. If I'm Seabull, I'm never touching top lane. Because you got to ask yourself, at this point, like, in these kinds of games, who is going to win you the game, right? Is it going to be the Gragas, who already has a deficit, and if you gank them, they're just going to end up even? Or will it be a miracle like Kai'Sa fight? You know, I really think I would be putting my resources down to Kai'Sa here, because a Gragas is never really going to win you the game.
Oh,
I think this is just an oof. I think they're gonna die here.
This is such an oof. They do try and jump away. The counter strike doesn't quite hit him, but that was 2 versus 4 effectively, and No Name and Rifty hold the line.
That demonic embrace coming out now. Those saplings are going to hurt, and you can actually expect every single dragon to come out the way of No Name now, as long as he's on the objective early. Something to keep in mind, like I said, preparation on the objectives with a Maokai is the most important thing. They have to come into the Maokai, otherwise he loses, because he cannot go forward. If he goes forward, he hates it, because he's super squishy with his demonic embrace build. He's not actually a tank, right? He needs a frontline, and that's why they've opted for something like a Braum, which can tank for him.
Well, sapling almost catches on to Blue. Scuff getting pretty heavily chunked out here. Does have his ultimate and balloon nearby, but they are just going to chill out for the moment. Lots of pings going down towards the bottom side. And these saplings are just going to make sure that any trip through the river costs you your life. Remix throws the W down, spots out that he's in danger, and just supercharges away. He does not want to be dealing with that. Rift Herald goes down on the bottom side. Demvoxy, who has just been free farming up. This is Demvoxy's dream. All of the attention's been mid and top and not bot lane. He just wants to farm and get tower plates, and able to get a free for himself off the back of that. Demvoxy is a happy boy right now.
And they just can't make plays anywhere in return, right? Like, Nativz, whenever you give up towers, whenever you give up dragons and bot side control, you want to make a play topside or something. But because they only have a neutralizer topside in Gragas, you really can't make a play. On top of that,
first tower?
Yeah, he's definitely getting first tower. And on top of that, Rifty has Merc Treads already. Right, so if he gets stunned up, he's just getting out of there, right? He can dodge most of the stuff. He's incredibly tanky. Jax is super hard to dive, so there's never any cross-map plays. And that Dirk Spike coming in with that Caulfields with points in queue. At level 9, you've pretty much spiked as Jace, right? You have so many points in queue. You've maxed out your queue. Your poke is going to hurt, right? And we just saw that there. He's just completed Eclipse. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, that was pretty rough there. Huge queue coming in. They've got themselves a Cloud Drake still up, but not really prioritizing the Dragon. I think Ruddy feeling comfortable with the gold lead they've already got for themselves and don't feel like they have to make any, you know, overzealous plays about being fully set up. They made sure that they injected as much gold into their AD carry as possible. Look at that lead in the AD carries between Remix and Demvoxy right now. Spuda is going to get himself caught out. The counter strike does connect. Rifty's getting himself in danger. Doesn't have the Grandmaster's might. Eating quite a lot of damage. The cast goes pops and Rifty goes down. Spuda able to find the kill.
Managed to find the chain CC, and Spuda once again the only person on his team with a lead. Every single game it does feel like this way. Sometimes it's solo kills, sometimes he gets resources, but often it comes down to him. Come mid-game, he ends up grouping with his teammates. He has to find the place and he has to push his lead in. We'll have to see what he does, but it's going to be difficult.
I think Demvoxy just got another 2 plates mid. I don't know if Nitro had already taken a plate there, but
look at his items.
This guy is super rich, by the way. Like, absolutely insanely rich. 6.2k gold is how much he's had this game versus the 4.7 on Remix.
Compare
got
the
a Kraken
items.
Slayer. And Remix also bought a BF sword because he wanted to upgrade that Q as quick as possible. So he's detoured in his item build to make sure he upgrades his Q. Luckily for Nativz, there is no tower plates anymore. So Demvoxy can't just get that without get bonus gold without taking a tower for himself. But Dragon secured for the side of Nativz.
Yeah. First Dragon going down, not the biggest deal. Ruddy, personally, I completely agree with Ruddy. I think they're doing the right thing, valuing taking that first turret, snowballing their gold over to Demvoxy. I think a fight's coming out now.
Look at Remix. He might get himself caught out, able to flash away to safety. Spuda is in low HP. Nita flashes forwards. There's going to be a kill onto the support. They also take out Spuda. Remix is low, and No Name finishes him up with a flash and twisted advance forwards. Absolutely flawless. Meanwhile, PvE player Demvoxy on the top side takes the tower.
It's just a massacre, isn't it? Typically, you'd associate these champions with disengaging, but they are using them to engage and find picks, especially using those flank angles. You can see Nash coming in from the top side, and Maokai, no name on this Maokai, running forwards. They are so far ahead now, they can actually do whatever they want and play however they want, and they will win. Scuffed, taking a small consolation prize, trying to take bot lane tower, but ultimately, it's a rough trade.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Denvoxney got a tower to himself, top side. He's now got almost his Navari finished up, while Remix still hasn't finished an item. I hate to be that guy, but can we look at the gold leads individually again? Just want to see where we're at. Yeah. I mean, Denvoxney has 2 levels on Remix at 15 minutes and almost a whole 2 items over him. This is not what Remix wanted in this game.
Yeah, these are some brutal leads. And on top of that, you put that in context, right? How is he going to dive into the enemy team now? Being behind, diving into a Brom is just suicide. It actually is. It's incredibly difficult to do. And if he wanted to do that, he probably needed to snowball early game and be really far ahead. But how could you? You can't snowball with Nautilus into Brom. This is why I was in Champ Select. I was begging for a Brom ban, right? But they didn't do it. They decided, you know what? We're gonna let them have it. We're gonna make the enemy team completely undiveable and not be able to snowball and have a lane to play through with our Elise.
Seaball's now being denied his jungle, as Denvoxney is going to just take this red buff away from him. May actually just give it over to No Name. They've got no smite, so this is a little bit harder for them. But Seaball loses a lot of HP. Scuff's getting jumped onto. Remix slides in. They do throw down the depth charge. Remix gets a bunch of damage off, but that's going to be 1 kill. That's going to be 2 kills. Double kill picked up for the Jace. A big shock blast would get him the Quadra, but they are going to be able to just settle for this dragon. Rift Herald's still in their pocket.
I think this might be our shortest game of the day. I do see a Baron going down and turning into a game. We'd see this replay here, what happens. Just look at that damage from the Demonic Embrace Maokai. This is the value of it. This is why it's permanently banned. Take a look at Denvoxney here. Managed to flash away. Remix tries to dash in to punish Denvoxney, but afterwards, Denvoxney can just free hit. The entire team is so fed that they can just do whatever they like, and they're almost unpunishable, it feels like. And now you can imagine that Denvoxney is coming out of base, yeah, exactly, with his 2nd item completed, whilst Remix is still Build-A-Bear with these components.
Actually, that is actually savage.
Brutal.
I didn't notice there was a 2-item lead now on Denvoxney over Remix. Yeah, Remix is fun in the funny side of it.
Laugh.
That was manic laughter. That was pure
Smiling through the tears.
Yeah. If I cry in the rain, then you can't see the tears. Rifty getting himself locked down. Are they got a 4-man Rifty?
I think he's dead.
Rifty, he's got the counter strike. The CC's coming in. They are going to cancel out the tower shot. He gets bopped back. Rifty ward hops away. In comes Spoon with a belly bop. And down he goes. But not before chunking the 4 of them. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Ruddy get the charge out onto the tower. They're going for an inhibitor tower. We are 18 minutes in. They are going to get the inhib charge out. They've got the wave to work with. This may just be an inhibitor at 18 minutes. If this inhib falls, there it goes. We've now got Dragon in 1 minute 40. They got super minions pushing for them for the next few moments in the bot side. This could easily be a 20-minute Baron.
No, 100%. They're confident. They're taking this inhib and they're saying they're confident. We're going to close this game out. We're not funneling you more gold with these super minions. We're going to close this game out with these inhibitor. This pressure is going to convert into a dragon, into a Baron. You can see them all moving topside with Jax.
Oh, Jesus.
And you just know after that play, Rifty's in comp saying, send more top. You know, something along these lines, because I would be. You send 4 top lane and you lose everything, your entire base.
Quick snapshot of the items. Denvoxney has just finished up his Zeal as well. So he's 2.5 items. My screen has gone black. I don't know about you guys. Sitting in the darkness. Yeah, that was... This is rough. I did see that there was a base coming in, though. So I'm assuming the class is going to finish up their item. Yeah, this might be a bit of a fast one. I don't want to be that guy, but we kind of expected that coming into this game, to be fair. We had the expectation that this was going to be a pretty fast game in favor of Ruddy. Ruddy, fresh off beating Riddle, if they lost to Nativz, they should probably just forfeit their spot in the league. I'm going to be toxic and say
that is mean, dude. Okay.
Don Jake, I hope you hear me.
Dragon going down. You can imagine they just get heading straight over to Baron now, right? There's no way they don't. Someone has to answer our bot side. You do have Spooder answering our bot side with that teleport, so potentially a Hail Mary play onto this Baron. Trying to find any pick you can. Maybe you find a Dream Baron as well, and even then, you're probably just even in gold, if not still 5k behind, right? It's really, really brutal. But yeah, Baron started, 20-minute Baron, you called it.
Yeah, on the dot. I mean, Denvoxy's 2.5 items. He's got the Zeal. He's got the attack speed. This Baron will melt like butter. Siebel, his one moment to shine. The Elise hasn't had the pick potential they wanted, but then comes the Glacial Fissure, and the health bars are already low. The Twisted Advance is taking everybody down, and in comes Jace to the skies. Down they go. Scuffed is out as well. 4 for none in favor of Ruddy. An absolutely flawless fight coming in from the Ruddy boys.
It's absolute carnage. No Name's ultimate comes through and just tears everyone in half. I didn't even notice where their health bars went. I hope we get a replay of that because I want to see how fast they just get melted. Look at those items on No Name. I believe he just ults and half hits someone. Could be misremembering, but you can see Nash is just so tanky, and they don't anticipate that. They tried to burst down Nash, but it just doesn't work out. Look at this.
Oh my God. That is so
full
unhealthy.
AP Maokai. This is something you normally only ever see do this much damage in ARAM, but it's invaded Summoner's Rift, and it's just one-shotting everyone.
Yeah, that's I now understand why this champion is permaban.
Yes.
As Siebel, oh, the bye-bye health bar. Baloo Q to safety. Like, he actually was just like, nope, I'm out.
Oh.
Yeah. That is not okay. That is just not an okay amount of damage. Super's still pouring in on the bot side, by the way. Now with Baron, Ruddy are on track for the fastest game of the season, taking down 1 inhibitor, taking down 2. There is no way we are having a sub-22-minute 3 inhibs down, right? It's happened. Oh my word. This might actually just be it. This might be the fastest game of the season. Ruddy putting their stamp down as the Twisted Advance advances forward. Zenvoxny jumped onto, getting collapsed on. He's shut down, but meanwhile his team are being melted. There's the kill for No Name. A couple of glory kills to tidy this one out. And that is going to be it. 22 minutes on the clock. Are they going to be able to do it in under 23? I think the answer is bloody well yes. 22-30.